welcome back to the next module. We are going to look for EC2 high availability. So, what actually is a high availability and why we consider that? So, as we know, there are different data centers. So, if there is only one data center and if it fails to operate, then what? Then what we were going to look for? So, when EC2 comes in picture and we talk about high availability, it will always describe the systems that are dependent enough to operate continuously without failing. So, अगर fail भी हो रहे हैं, then you have to be very provident to provide high availability. So if one fails, then another comes into picture and it acquires all those things. So they are well tested, and sometimes it is like all these things are equipped with redundant components. So what high availability actually does and how we are going to look into high availability in AWS. So this all these systems will be all high level operations performance, and there will be a quality over all relevant time period. So we'll all overlook the high availability feature, that is considering that as in architecture we describe that high availability will, when it will be considered, there will be three at most three data centers will be available. So then only we can say it's highly available. Yes. So talking about load balancer. So this is the feature for high availability. What it does is that a load balancer will always accept the incoming traffic from the client, and it will always route its request to the registered such as targets such as EC2 in one or more availability zone. So how this load balancer will work is it will act as a network and a security boundary for the virtual machines. So it will always operate in one or more availability zones. And what is the main feature for the load balancer is that it will always monitor the health of targets. It will always check whether the servers are healthy, and it will always ensure that it routes the traffic to only the healthy servers. So talking about this load balancer, it will give you a fault tolerance mechanism. It will provide you a high availability. It will scale your request handling capacity according to the incoming request. So also the cloud service URL is mapped to the public IP when there is at least one active virtual machine. So as you can see on the right hand side, there is an image. So these are the EC2 instances. So let's consider, let us imagine there are different servers, there are different instances, and which we have load. As the load balancer name itself, what it is doing, it is balancing a load. And how it is doing, let's see that if EC2 instance, this is 1, this is 2, and if this instance is having 70% of load, and there are n number of instances with 20, 30, 40% of load. So what this instances will do, like how a user is going to access the site. Let's say we are accessing amazon.in. This is the URL we are accessing, and it consists of different number of servers. So from abstraction level of point, we don't know which server is going to go to our website, like what is routing, how the traffic is going to route. So it might create a huge number of traffic over only one server. So at the end, what we are going to look is for there will be a load balancing coming into picture, which will manage all the load. So this load balancer, what it will have its a IP. This IP will be given to the user, and this all the IPs will be connected. So all this instances will be connected to the load balancer, and once this is connected, the person will always be abstracted from this all abstraction layer. There will be an abstraction layer at the back end. What is happening, the user doesn't want to know that. So what load balancer will do, he will manage everything. He will consider that okay, this EC2 first instance is there and it is having a huge amount of traffic ongoing. So what that elastic load balancer will do, it will manage on itself. Like it will come to know that what I have to do, which are the healthy ones, and where I can route the traffic. So it will route the traffic to either the third or the fourth server as they have less load. And then also, as I said, it will monitor the health. So if you know that this EC21 is failing, like anything any disaster is happening to that and it fails, So what LB will know, ELB will come to know that okay, this first server is not healthy, so it will stop. It will stop its routing. The traffic won't be sent to that. The service request won't be set to that instance. And on the backend side, the auto scaling will happen. It will be available. Then another instance will be replaced by the failed instance. So in this, how the picture, the load balancer will work. All the external traffic to the virtual machine uses this IP. So user user will all the traffic which is external coming by the users will be getting the IP from the load balancer and will be using that IP. So this is how in picture a load balancer works. So what are the availability zones? As in picture, you can see unique physical locations in a region. The availability zones are itself known as unique physical locations in any region. So when it is an availability zone, when there will be at least one data center with its independent power, cooling, and networking. So at least one data center, then only we can say it's a zone. It's an availability zone, and it protects from data center failures. So when availability zone is considered, when it is highly available, then it will, even if the data centers fails, then it will be considered, the other will be considered. So there are different types of load balancers in AWS: application load balancer, classic EC2 load balancer. So when we go for EC2 load balancing, we see a classic network which works within the same availability zone. But if we talk about application load balancer, it will work for different availability zones. Maybe one instance is in, as you can see in the picture, one is in Europe West 1A, the other is in West 1B and 1C. So this will help in redundancy also. So if one fails, we can access through the different region. So this is how, and it will also be having auto scaling group. So this is how a picture availability zone is defined. This is a cloud region, and there are different availability zones. Each considers of one data centers, one instances, and then the application load balancer is used. And through this IP, it will be accessible for external traffic. This is how availability zones are done. Now, next is EC2 scale set. As we know, auto scaling is there. So, what is a scale set for EC2? On demand, off demand, like set of identical VMs mostly created from images. So, when VMs are automatically, they spin up as demand goes high. So this VMs will automatically scale up as per the requirement. If there is a more requirement, they will scale up, and if the demand goes down, additional VMs that are not in use and that are not required will be removed. The process can be manual, automated, or a combination of both. So this process of scaling will be automated, or like it can be automatic if the user wants it to be, or we can manually set that, or it can be a combination of both. So this is how the EC2 scale set works. It's on demand and off demand, and the scaling or spinning up of VMs will be as per the demand. So we stop here, and then we'll see a small demo of load balancing, how actually a load balancer works.